Morning. It is April 13th right now, 2022. You can hear the birds are happy. People are biking along this canal in the city called Gulistan. I've been here. I'm coming near to my third week here. And found a spot near to the canal. And I said, why not spend my last couple of days doing something more active? It seems like counterintuitive, but actually, when we do more physical activity, we get more energy. And when we just sit around, we have less energy. And you'd think, oh, I'm saving my energy. But I've noticed for myself, the more I sit around, the more I just stare at my phone, the less energy I have for myself. And that's what's happening all the time. You can see the lighting is a little weird here, but it's fine. And a colleague of mine says he gets up at 3 every day and he runs. That's devotion right there. I had some nice times these past couple of days visiting different schools. People's responses are always quite positive to me, which is always reaffirming. Students are happy when I'm there and they get to ask me questions, or I ask them questions, or do little activities. Teachers also appreciate the feedback that I give them. It's spring, there's that warm, joyful sense of regeneration, which is what spring brings. You can see here, lots of plants have been planted. This man looks like he's off to work. And had an interesting experience. I was really excited. I had created some different proposals for a conference, and not all of them got, or any really got accepted. And my first response to that was rejection. You're not good. These kind of negative response thoughts to a situation, because it's something that I'm comfortable saying to myself. And I realized that there's different reasons for why things work or don't work. And instead of creating my own reason based on my own perceptions, I need to accept what is and know that it has a bigger purpose. Oh, look at all these birds here. They're all hanging out. Pigeons. So this area where I am, in Sirdarya, which is the region south of Tashkent, I don't know, you could call it the bread basket, probably. Well, it's definitely the wheat basket. A lot of wheat is grown here. It's called Bodo in Uzbek. So when I go to my observations, I often see wheat fields along the way. And if you look at the earth here, it's not the exact kind of soil that I'm familiar with. It's not as dark. It has a clay-like feature. I know that originally this area had a lot more swamps, and the way that this actually became a place with a lot of more cotton being planted was because they started creating canals like this one. Now this is a really big one, but they've made smaller ones in different villages, and this allowed for the rivers that are near here. You know, there's Amudarya and there's other rivers that water can, its tributaries can go to different areas and provide enough water for planting in land that could be somewhat dry, but it is also productive. But I saw as well that they use some fertilizers to help products grow. I don't think people do those in their home gardens, but they do them for industrial usage. And what has been interesting? Well, yesterday, I'll just share, when I went to a school after the classes, I got to meet the physical education teachers. I like movement. They had a little competition between 2 grades And that was interesting. And they had me kind of kick the ball off to start off their competition. And people don't assume that I would go to such far and off and remote villages. They say, why are you going here? What's the reason? I try my best to be as open. What's interesting about my position is I can go to as many or as little schools as possible. So if teachers say, oh, well, we don't want you, or we don't need you to come, or we're not organized, or maybe they're sick, or whatever the reason is, they're busy, then I don't have to go. But if they're open, and many people are, if not most, they're really honored to have me come visit. And I'm always asked, well, what do you think of Uzbekistan? I always say the people are really kind and friendly. This is a park that has been made recently. Down there, I think they have a performance sort of hole, or I'm not exactly sure what it's used for. And the other word would be caring. I find people are really caring and nurturing. I think that I do feel it in large cities like Tashkent, but the city that I'm in here, Gulistan, you could say city of flowers, has a different vibe to it. A bit more calmer. You can hear roosters. Not too far away, you can be in the countryside in like 5 minutes. So I guess you could say the concept of a suburb doesn't really exist. You're either countryside or city, and even elements of the countryside can be right next to the city. And it's interesting. What else can I say? I have 8 months in total for the time that I'm allotted to be here. 6 months and a couple days have gone by. I had a little accident, but now I'm feeling overall better, a little bit of pain. But it's interesting about pain. The more you focus on it, the bigger it gets, and the more stuck in it you get. And the more you focus on things that give you an uplifting and warm feeling, the better you feel. So, doing my best to focus on the love and light. And that's where I'm at today, April 13th. I'll do 2 more observations. I'm gonna get some photos of that canal before I go.